Hi! I am here today with a haul of books that I got at a library book sale. So these are all used books and they were all under $1. Some of them they were doing a bag for $1. So I spent less than $10 on all these books. So if you need to check your local library and see if they're doing a Friends of the Library book sale ever. I know the library in my city does a big sale like this once or twice a year, and I found some really good books, and let's go through them. I'll show you all the things that I got. So let's get started on going over the books that I picked up from the library book sale, and hopefully some of them will sound interesting to you. And then you'll want to pick them up from your own local library or from your favorite bookstore. So first one here is 13 Reasons Why by J. Asher. Yep. I know that this is a popular book and show. I have neither read nor seen I don't know if it's a show or a movie. I know nothing about it except I heard that it deals with suicide. And so this book is about a character named Clay, and he discovers tapes that someone named Hannah left behind before their suicide. And on that tapes he hears that he's partially responsible, and so it's about him listening to these tapes that Hannah left. So it sounds like it will be maybe a sad book, but I wanted to pick it up. The library actually I found like 4 copies of this one, so I got the one that had the earliest printing. Another book I picked up is called We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. And it says, "We are Sinclairs, no one is ready, no one is wrong. We live, at least in the summertime, on a private island off the coast of Massachusetts. Perhaps that's all you need to know, except that some of us are liars." This one, I was really excited when I found it, Sanctum. And this is by Madeline Rue. Not 100% sure how to pronounce her name. I read the first book in the series. I believe there's 3 plus some bonus materials, some bonus books. I read this book a while ago called Asylum, and I wasn't sure if I was into it, but I just kept thinking about that book, and now it's been 2 years since I read it, and I still think about it, and I was really excited when I found this copy because it looks brand new. So I don't want to read what it's about, but the first book was about a guy who goes to a boarding school that used to be in a psychiatric asylum. And so there's ghosts and there's weird stuff that you find out. And so this is a continuation. I think this is the second one. I'm not sure what the third one is called, but it's Narnia number 3. And then I have like Escape from Asylum, which is like, I think it's a prequel or it's an in-between. Next on these books is called The Cellar by Natasha Preston. I haven't read any books by this author, but I believe I have 2 others because they sound very interesting. So I got this for like 10 cents, so why not, right? This one says, "For months, Summer is trapped in a cellar with a man who took her and 3 other girls, Rose, Poppy, and Violet. His perfect, pure flowers. His family. But flowers can't survive long, cut off from the sun, and time is running out." So I'm guessing they are going to break free of the cellar and get away, hopefully. Okay, this one, If I Stay, I believe that this was a movie, and this is by Gail Foreman. I read this a while ago, but I remember I liked it okay, and I believe I liked the movie. So this is about a girl named Mia who kind of has a great life, but she's caught between life and death, and it says that she has one day to make her last decision. So I don't really remember what it was, but that's why I'll have to reread it. One of my favorite books is called How to Deal, and that because I love that movie with Mandy Moore. And so I actually found this one. So this book is the same characters from How to Deal, and it's almost like in the beginning of How to Deal in the movie, in book, something happens to Scarlett's boyfriend. And this almost seems like we get a more detailed view of her side of things and like what she went through. Because in the movie, you're following Hallie and her life. So I was really excited when I saw this, and I was like, I didn't even know this book existed. So this one's called Someone Like You. And another Sarah Dessen book is called Lock and Key. This one's about a character named Ruby, and her mother vanishes, and then Ruby is sent to live with her older sister, who's named Cora. Okay, and I believe the last Sarah Dessen novel is called Just Listen. This book is about a character named Annabelle who plays a very popular girl in commercials, but in reality she's not popular and she's not very well liked, and she tries to stay away from conflict. And so I think this book is about how she meets someone who she kind of has to learn how to become more herself. So I feel like Sarah Dessen writes a lot of like books about teens growing up and finding their own way. Let's see if you can read it. This one's called 10 Things We Did and Probably Shouldn't Have. The little like blurb about it says 2 girls, 3 guys, 1 house, no parents. Equals 10 things April and her friends did that they definitely maybe probably shouldn't have done. So I'm gonna guess they get into a lot of trouble when the parents aren't around. Next we have a book called Where She Went, and I think this is the second one from If I Stay by Gail Forman. So this takes place after the first one, and I don't want to give anything away or really read what it's about. I haven't read this one yet. The next 2 that I got, I don't really know anything about them, but it's Scott Westerfield, Pretties and Uglies, and this is a series. I know that there's more books in this. This is more like these are teen books. Tally's about to turn 16, she can't wait, and this says that, so in this novel, it says your 16th birthday brings an operation that turns you from a repellent ugly into a stunningly attractive, pretty, catapults you into paradise where your only job is to have a great time. So this sounds like a very strange book, but I was like, for 20 cents, I'll try it. They look like they're going to be like really fast reads, and if I don't like them, I can donate them back for resale. So Just Like That by Marcia Qualley. So this is like the same publisher as like the Sarah Dessen books, so I was like, I'll give this a try. It's about a girl who witnessed she saw 2 boys before they disappeared or before they died, and so she kind of has this secret that she's holding, and it'll be strange to see where this goes. Okay, this one, Looking for Alaska by John Green. This one, I believe, was made into a TV show on Hulu. I think I watched the first 5 minutes, but then I was like, I want to read the book first. Okay, so this book is about a girl that is named Alaska, who is, I guess, a force of nature, and about a guy named Miles who kind of gets pulled into her bubble. And so she probably gets him to step out of his world and experience new things. Okay, this one seemed really interesting. It's called Scythe. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. By Neil Shusterman. I've actually seen this on a lot of people's bookshelves. This is book 1 of a series, and it says, "Thou shalt kill. A world with no hunger, no disease, no war, no misery. Humanity has conquered all those things and has even conquered death. Now scythes are the only one who can end life, and they are commanded to do so in order to keep the size of the population under control. that seems very creepy. So I hope it's good. I've heard that this author is really good. I just haven't read anything by them. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. By the way, you should watch that movie. It came out like 2 years ago, a little less than 2 years ago. I liked it a lot. I grew up reading these with my siblings. And so when I saw this, I was like, oh, I should totally add that to my collection. Okay, so the last YA books that I have here are Crank, Burned, and Impulse. These are all by Ellen Hopkins. And they actually are, they're kind of set like, I don't know if you can see that. They kind of look like verses, like poetry. Yeah, so it's like a story told in poems. I've never read a book like that. It sounds like all three of these are going to be kind of deep, so, or like have a lot of triggers and feels. And then I got 3 Goosebumps novels. I used to love these when I was a kid. So if you haven't seen Goosebumps 1 and 2 with, I think Jack Black's in them, those are some of my favorite movies. Moving on, let's see, we have one called Drops of Gold by Sarah Eden. I really like the author Sarah Eden. Like, her books are just so sweet. They're just really cute. They're romance novels, but there's no, they're what I call clean romance. So there aren't a lot, it's not like the most they do is like hold hands and kiss maybe. Because they're set in, they're historical. So I got 2 Tess Garriston books. It is called Body Double. So it's always like a medical examiner and I think she's a police. One's a medical examiner and then one works with like the police. So they're solving crimes. This one's called The Bone Garden. And I don't know what these ones are about. Looks like this one jumps back from like the 1830s to present day and they're solving like an old case. These are always really good though. Like, I like thrillers and I like detective medical examiner kind of shows. So, and I've read by the author before and I always like their books. This one, yay, Michael Crichton, The Lost World. I love Jurassic Park. I have the first book, so I think I need the second one. I think The Lost World is 3rd. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I just love these dinosaur books. And this was a really nice copy, so I'm looking forward to reading this. A Grave Prediction by Victoria Laurie. This one, I have not read any books by this author. This is a psychic eye mystery. The library bookstore sale didn't have any cozy mysteries. I think this was the closest I got, and as well as this next one I'll talk about. Joanne Fluke, Cream Puff Murder. I might have read this one, but I don't own it. So these are always really cute. Cozy mysteries. They always have recipes, and the main character in this, I think, is a baker. So they're always just really cute. She gets involved in these incidents and has to try to solve them. So very cute. I got, now the next couple are more like nonfiction. Adulting, How to Become a Grown-Up in 468 Easy-ish Steps by Kelly Williams Brown. I remember seeing this at Target years ago and I thought it was fun. I remember like flipping through the pages and just thinking it was very funny. So it's just like a cute little guidebook and it's definitely funny. Like the little parts I've read, like the author is very sarcastic and that's my thing. I like that. This one I was so excited to find. It's Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Philosophy by James B. South. I love Buffy books. I love the show. I collect the little novels that I find. I have 3 of these white books up there. Those are 3 like Buffy books. But I have Veronica Mars and Philosophy, and that just really intrigues me. So when I saw the Buffy one, I was like, oh, okay. I will pay $1 for this Buffy book. And another one, I think this was my favorite find. It's Unauthorized Investigations into Veronica Mars' Neptune Noir, edited by Rob Thomas. So I love Veronica Mars. It's my favorite show ever, and I watch it every year. So when I saw this, I was like, how do I not own this already? I think I have an ebook of it, but I much prefer paperback. So this is just, I think it's just about Veronica Mars. And I also picked up The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. I haven't read any of like Lord of the Rings or Hobbit or anything. So this is the enchanting prelude to the Lord of the Rings. So if I like this, maybe I could read Lord of the Rings. It depends on how much I like this book, I guess. And I'm sure most of you maybe know what it's about. I don't even think I've seen the movie The Hobbit. So the last section is classics. I don't own a lot of classic novels, just because the ones I read in high school I donated because I was like, oh, I'll probably never read it again. But here we are years later, and I'm like, maybe I do want to revisit some of them and see how I have changed since reading them, or see what I noticed now that I didn't before, now that I have more life experience. So first of all, A Christmas Carol. I've actually never read the story by Charles Dickens. I always watch, like every year I like to watch Scrooge or something around Christmas time, but it'll be fun to read the actual book. Daniel Defoe's Robinson Crusoe. I picked this one up because there's a board game that I really enjoy playing called Robinson Crusoe, and it's about surviving on an island, and there's all these tasks that you have to complete to survive, and I don't think I've ever beaten it. You can play solo or you can play with other players. It's a board game for at home. Anyway, so I was like, that'd be fun to read, like the behind the story. So yeah. Okay, I got a Sherlock Holmes book by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, The Hound of the Bakersvilles. So this one, a man found brutally, horribly murdered near his home in Dartmoor. Interesting. It's a Sherlock Holmes novel. So, looks very old, smells like an old book. Actually, all these classics smell very old. So, Ayn Rand Anthem. I think I read another book by Ayn Rand. Maybe not. I don't remember. Oscar Wilde, The Picture of Dorian Gray. I actually never had to read this when I was in high school. It says, upon seeking his own striking portrait, Dorian Gray's bewitched and offers his soul if only the painting will age while he remains eternally youthful. That sounds really interesting. Huh. The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. I loved that story as a little kid, so I got excited to see this one. It's about a secret garden. Siddhartha by Herman Hesse. So this one says, a young man leaves his family for a contemplative life and then discards it for one of the flesh. So, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I thought this was a really cute copy. I have another copy of it somewhere, but I like how this one is so small and cute. I think the copy that I have is this one plus Alice Through the Looking Glass. I just love the cover of it. I just thought it was so cute and blue. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I never read this one. I didn't have to read it when I was in school. Frankenstein. I think most people know that. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Robert Louis Stevenson. I also never read this. And I've heard of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's like someone that has like a split person. We have A Separate Peace by John Knowles. This is one I have read before, but I remember I enjoyed it. Set in a boarding school in New England during World War II. So, I remember I liked that one, but I have to reread it. The last book that I picked up at the book sale was The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. This is one I read in high school as well, but I liked this one. So, Hopefully I'll get the chance to read some of these. And I hope that you enjoyed this video and that it has inspired you to check your local library to see if they have a sale going on with the Friends of the Library. Enjoy reading, and thanks for watching this video. Bye!